I see. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, hey guys, welcome. Today we'll be exploring um a rather funny video. Today the video is gonna be comic relief, like what most of the MCU basically is. So I caught the Reddit post, one of the most interesting Reddit posts, which is the one that gives us the details about the Endgame Q&A session from the Russo brothers while they were in China. So I have a list of the questions and answers that they gave. Now the accuracy is could be questionable because there are still people on Reddit who are trying to like help with the translation and the correction, so on and so forth. But regardless, let's just have some fun and go through some of the uh, well excuses that the Russo brothers gave. So I'm going to display to you like the question here, and I'm just going to simply read out the answer. Uh, so try to like keep up with me. If you have any difficulties understanding my way of speech or my rather capabilities of the English language, just let me know because I'm not perfect. Not everyone can be. So let's just start off with this. Why Iron Man has to be the one to do the final snap? Couldn't the people like Thor, Star-Lord, or Captain Marvel, whom all previously have handled the power of Infinity Stones, done it instead? Of course, you can also add Scarlet Witch to this list because she has basically destroyed an Infinity Stone. So her powers are questionably quite insane. So the answer that they gave is that Thor in this movie couldn't do it. Only Hulk was strong enough to do the snap without dying. The first sentence of this answer itself is ridiculous. So they are clearly telling us that Thor in this movie couldn't do it. This means that they nerfed Thor in this movie. They're openly admitting it. Then they say we are still not sure whether Captain Marvel can also withstand all the power of the Infinity Stones at once. We are still not sure. Right, that's a very weird answer from the author of said story. The reason we chose to let Iron Man do it in the end was because he was the closest one to Thanos at the time. In all the futures Doctor Strange foresee, Iron Man was the only one who could get close to Thanos and do the snap. People usually think the death of a hero is a horrible tragedy, but we think this is different. When his death was able to bring back hope to save half of the universe, then his death was powerful and meaningful. We shouldn't feel too sad or it's written here anger about it, but I think you should be angry about it. So, I mean, based on what they said, they clearly are not giving enough weight to the capabilities of their squad because the Avengers is several heroes working together. And it seems like all of them are just stupid, right off the bat. They're saying that it's because Doctor Strange foresaw the fact that Iron Man was the closest one to the gauntlet. So this is literally a plot armor answer. Like this is an Exhibit A example of a plot armor answer. It's something like that movie 2012. Yeah, okay. So that movie 2012 is about the end of the world, right? So in that film, if you watch the main character closely, he is literally the luckiest person in any movie like ever because he escapes so many near death incidences. So we clearly established that that's how lucky the main character in that film is. But the way Infinity War was going was that such that the weight of the movie is all about the fact that the Avengers could actually lose, and they did lose at the end of Infinity War. So you gave us so much like weight to the film, saying that, oh, there's so much to lose, and now it seems like it's just plot convenience to make it so seemingly simple to say that, oh, because Doctor Strange saw that a rat is going to press the button to release Ant-Man, and Iron Man will be the closest to the snap. Because of that, he let half of the universe die. That is just okay. I mean, I don't know. All right, it's just for me, it's just a dumb answer. Next question. Okay, let me just like shorten this up for you guys. Is that okay? Yeah, I think that's okay. Peggy Carter was probably already married and in her 40s in 1970. In that case, what year was it that Captain America went back to dance with her? So I already addressed this thing in my time travel concept video. So if we were to like do the math right, there's like four places they have to jump to. And assuming Cap uses another vial of PIM particles to jump to like Vormir, sorry, yeah, Vormir without using the spaceship, because he didn't carry a spaceship with him, he didn't see anything like that. Unless he stuck one up somewhere we couldn't see. So he needs like what, eight PIM particles? Because he's jumping in and out of each reality time after time, and then so maybe okay, not eight. Let's say one, then two, three, four, then five, then six to go back with Peggy Carter, and then stay on there. So he needed like six vials of PIM particles, which basically makes him a better Ant-Man. Anyway, the answer for this is we can't answer it for now. This is a story that happened in an alternate reality. Maybe it will be revealed in the future. You know what this sounds like to me? It sounds like a kind of um, side story movie for Captain America back in the 1960s or 1970s. And if you guys haven't don't know, like there is a TV series for Peggy Carter. It's called Agent Carter, and it features Howard Stark, Peggy Carter, Jarvis, and a few other people who I'm not really too concerned about. So yeah, they apparently there was reasonable reception for that TV series, although it was actually pretty bad. But the fact that people like to watch these 1960s and 1970s-ish TV series, there could be a chance that Captain America may actually get one for himself about his past with Peggy Carter. So it's just another chance for them to get more money, basically. That's what they're building up for. The third question. Let me just shift this here. Did Captain America's actions at the end affect the timeline? Does that mean there was a time where two Captain Americas existed in the same universe? So once again, I've already gone through this. It sounds terrifying for the fact that another you comes back, comes to like another you from the future comes to a time when the past you is frozen in ice or wounded or something, and then takes the chance to spend time with your wife. So it's like, I get it, it's you, but you don't know this you. This you is a future you who had a miserable life. Now he has come to your time to steal your wife while you are either in coma or frozen in ice, which is really sick. So the answer they gave to this question was, to me, Captain America's action in the end wasn't the fact that he wanted to change anything. It was more like he has made a choice. He chose to go back to the past and lived with the one he loved for the rest of his life. Time travel in this movie created an alternate reality. He lived a completely different life in that world. We don't know how exactly his life turned out, but I like to believe he still helped many people, many others when they were in need in that world. Yes, there were two Captain Americas in that reality. It's just like what Hulk said, what happens in the past has already happened. If you go back to the past, you simply create a new reality. The characters in this movie create new timeline when they go back to the past, but it had no effect in the Prime universe. What happened in the past 22 movies was still canon. So they clearly debunked their own story where there's an old Captain America in the future, because he could not have grown in that reality and then returned, like, appeared in this one. That's the first. The second thing is the fact that they are admitting that there were two Captain Americas in that reality. It just enhances the freakiness of the theory, the fact that Cap is having fun with a woman that belongs to another reality's Cap. That's disgusting. And then, um, yeah, I mean, it gets worse, right? For the fact that they say that I'd like to believe he still helped many others. So if he really helped many others, he should have helped the other Cap in the eyes, because now he clearly knows like where Shield found him. So if he didn't free that Cap, maybe he had one dance and freed him, or maybe he just lived with Peggy until he had a child or something, and then woke up the other Cap from the ice, and the other Cap is like, oh dear God, what have you done? It's still terrifying, man. Still terrifying. Right, next question. Let me just skip this a little bit of space. In both Infinity War and Endgame, the heroes tried I think it's their best. These are typos from the post itself. I'm just trying to make sense out of it. The heroes tried their best to take the glove away from Thanos. So why didn't Doctor Strange just cut off Thanos' hand with his ability? Most likely they're talking about the portals that he creates. The answer was Thanos' skin is almost impenetrable. We don't know whether Doctor Strange had the capability to do it. If he failed to cut it on time, Thanos would still be able to do the snap. Doctor Strange realized this issue during his million test runs. Uh, that makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, clearly, Stormbreaker could pierce Thanos' chest, so his skin can be harmed by Stormbreaker, which did absolutely nothing in Endgame. Tony Stark could cut Thanos and make him bleed, which means he's definitely not almost impenetrable. He can be penetrated by what Iron Man's armor, like nanotech armor, which means he's not even as tough as Uru. Uru can just pierce him straight up. And then we don't know whether Doctor Strange had the capability to do it if he failed to cut it on time. Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't even have to touch Thanos. He just has to teleport the gauntlet away. Like before the gauntlet gets onto Thanos' hand, instead of carrying the gauntlet across the battlefield, just teleport it away. I mean, I've gone through this already, guys. So yeah, whatever. Another just convenient, lame answer. Next question. Why did you make Thor fat? Did Chris also become fat for the role? Or was it done through CGI? Okay. So it was mostly CG'd. That's the answer. Thor suffered more loss than anyone else. He has been living in a constant pain and regret. It's an absolutely like despicable answer. The fact that they're saying that because suffered more loss than anyone else, he has been living in constant pain and regret. This doesn't make sense because we clearly saw Thor pick himself up despite all the losses, create Stormbreaker and go after Thanos. You bring me Thanos. Remember that scene? So Thor has established himself as the guy who can come back from all of those losses. And this movie undid his entire character arc, everything they worked on. Oh man, I still can't take the disappointment. Alright, let's have a look at the next question. Was Old Cap played by Evans using makeup, or was it also post-production CG? The answer was 95% CGI, 5% makeup, but the voice was 100% Evans, no modification for that. I respect that. I respect the fact that Chris tried to create his own old man voice. That's cool. And 95% CG. I mean, it's kind of straightforward at this point. CGI is way easier than makeup because you could edit it like from time to time, even post production. But you can't edit makeup. It's not that simple. You still need CGI to edit makeup anyway. So yeah, it's they're creating people older and younger. I think it was very well done by the MCU. I honestly have to give them that. The way they made Samuel Jackson look young in Captain Marvel, and the way they made Cap look old, all of this was just fantastic. No comments and like no criticism to that. That's a good job. See, I make good comments. You give me good content, I give you good comments. You give me trash, I give you trash. Next question. Can you get a soul? Can you get the soul you sacrifice for the soul stone back when you return it? The answer was no, the process is irreversible. Even if you have returned it to its original location, you wouldn't be able to get the person back. In fact, it's not really returning the stone, more like put it back properly. The tribute soul for the soul stone will forever be sealed in that place, therefore Black Widow is gone forever. And you guys still didn't give her a proper send off. Um So, I mean, this question is pretty straightforward. It's quite clear. The more complicated question would have been the fact, if Black Widow could sacrifice herself, and that worked, and then Gamora was trying to kill herself to prevent Thanos from sacrificing her. So, if Gamora killing herself was also counted as Thanos losing someone, that would mean that Thanos would have still got the Soul Stone even if Gamora killed herself. That's an interesting thought. Um, so a few people pointed this out to me, and I yeah, I kind of understand the difference in the possibilities. But once again, just be prepared for the next convenient answer in next week's The Russo Brothers versus You. Okay, let's see the next one. How would Cap react when he encounters Red Skull when he returned the stone? Yeah, I mean, this would have been hilarious. The answer is Red Skull will probably put the Soul Stone back to its original location, wait for the next unfortunate Stone Seeker to make a sacrifice. Cap and the Red Skull probably won't fight. It's because it's a mission to return the stone to its original place. Red Skull is also no longer the same Red Skull from First Avenger. He's more like a ghost. You can almost say he's completely a different entity now. He only exists to guard the stone. His past consciousness may or may not exist anymore. I mean, nonetheless, Cap would have got a heart attack from seeing that. And I mean, they never really showed what happens to the Red Skull after someone takes the stone, because we always see someone taking the stone and then waking up in like a lake like area. And you don't see the point where the sacrifice was made or Red Skull anywhere in that scene. So what, Cap's gonna walk through like a lake of water and then like call out the Red Skull or something? I don't know. It's just things that we wish we could see, but these guys just don't have the creativity for it. Next question. Let's see, I gotta break this up a little bit. Give me a sec. Alright, here we go. In Infinity War, Thanos used the Time Stone to reverse the time so I think he could kill the already dead Vision, and it didn't cause any time parallax. Why did no one use the Time Stone to save Iron Man's life in Endgame? This is a golden question. The answer is, it's because even if you save Iron Man, it will still not change the fact that Thanos will eventually win the war. Among the 14 million possibilities that Doctor Strange has seen, Iron Man's sacrifice is a must for that one win scenario. So it seems like this Doctor Strange's 1 out of 14 million possibilities is their perfect way to kind of defend off any plot holes by saying that, oh no, it's because that was the only way. That was the only way. Why didn't someone do this? Because that was the only way. Why did it take a rat? Because it's the only way, guys. Why was Thor fat? It's the only way. Thor had to be fat. I mean, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. I'm sorry. I have to be a little harsh with these guys, but seriously, come on. How did Thanos bring his army to the future? Uh-huh. And then the answer was there's a guy called Maw in his army. At least say his name properly, Ebony Maw. Anyway, there's a guy called Maw in his army. He was a great wizard. Thanos himself was a brilliant genius as well. Those two easily reverse engineered and mass produced PIM particles. Again, another convenient answer. If you guys watch my Age of Ultron review, which I just made a while ago, I clearly state the importance of using the movie to define the activities, or rather the intelligence of the characters. So in Infinity War, sorry, in Age of Ultron, we see Tony and Banner working together to figure out Ultron. They didn't just say, "Oh, Ultron was created because everyone knows that they're geniuses." No, everyone knows that they're geniuses, and despite that, they gave us a scene of them figuring things out. Why is this important? Because it establishes the story taken by the characters to actually create Ultron. So it's not about us understanding that they're geniuses. We get it, they're geniuses. Half of the MCU are geniuses. But if we know that they're all geniuses, then there's no point having a film in the first place because everyone's saying, oh, yeah, they're all just smart. You don't have to show Iron Man building his armor, building his suit, which is the coolest part of Iron Man's film. You don't have to show Banner helping, Iron Man out trying to find the Infinity Stones in the first film because they're all geniuses. Just find it already. It doesn't work that way. They should have given us a scene where Thanos and Ebony Maw figure out the Pym particles, or just simple one-liners, like I mentioned, one-liners such as, what do you call this? How long do you need to figure out the Pym particles? And then Ebony Maw is like an hour or a few minutes or something. Or then all Thanos says like, "Have you figured it out?" Ebony Maw's like, "Of course," or something like that. It's just simple, something simple, just to let us know that they are working on it. But we didn't get it, so whatever. Next, lame ass. Sorry, next question. What about those people who got dusted? What did those 5 years mean to them? Why didn't they grow older when undusted? The answer was yes, those people who were lucky to survive the snap are 5 years older than the people who just got back. The reason Spider-Man saw his friend again in high school at the end was simply because his friends were unfortunately also extremely luckily and ridiculously plot convenient. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just dragging it. The answer was because his friends were unfortunately also dusted like Spider-Man. Are you serious? Of course, there are people in his grade whom didn't die, and there are probably already in colleges by now. To those dusted people, they had no conscious in the past 5 years. They didn't know what happened. It's as if they just woke up from a long sleep. The only one who was aware about how many years had passed was Doctor Strange, because he had already seen that when he was in time meditation on Titan. Parker's reunion with Nat was a touching moment. There are also people whom indeed moved on but suddenly were reunited with their lost ones. Yes, it's kind of complicated world now. And a very convenient world for the fact that Spider-Man and all of his friends alone disappeared together so that they'll all be the same age once again for the next Spider-Man film. It's just lame. Um, that's just a dumb answer. Come on, guys. Come on. I'll break this once more. Let me just do that. There we go. So what if the mouse didn't press the button to turn on the quantum machine? Would that stop Endgame from happening? Isn't this a bit too much a coincidence? All right, you guys are gonna love this answer. Yes, the mouse saved the universe. Among the many realities in those 14 million possible futures, Doctor Strange foresaw. Doctor Strange, yeah, foresaw the mouse failed to press a button, and thus the heroes failed in those futures. This mouse is clearly just Mickey Mouse. It's just Disney. It's just Disney telling us how screwed we are if we mess with them. Like Mickey Mouse was the most powerful thing in the Avengers. It's so obvious. Alright, next one. Endgame's plot. Is it a parallel universe or a closed time loop? Hmm. Nope, not a time loop. Both Ancient One and Hulk were right. You can't change the future by simply going back to the past. But it's possible to create a different alternate future. It's not the butterfly effect. Every decision you make in the past could potentially create a new timeline. For example, the old Cap at the end of the movie, he lived his married life in a different universe from the main one. He had to make another jump back to the main universe at the end to give the shield to Sam. So if Cap had to make another jump back, why didn't he jump back to the platform which he took off from? How did he conveniently make a jump back to a bench that is sitting like in the corner by a lake? What kind of a professional time was like Captain America so well trained in time jumping that he could jump onto a bench in the middle of nowhere? Is that how good he was in time jumping, or did he time jump with the bench? It's just they clearly accept it.
They just like clearly accepted that it creates different alternate timelines. It's not the butterfly effect. So the cap at the end should not be just randomly sitting on a bench, no flashy lights, no teleportation sounds, a completely different location, and conveniently on a bench, a wooden bench. No suit, no time travel suit, nothing. He just appears. And he has the shield in like this leather bag. Like he just bought it out of like an antique shop or something. I cannot accept this answer. That this answer is unacceptable. All right, next one. Um, there was, oh, sorry, okay. There was some metal smashing sound when the movie ended. Was that an Easter egg or just a tribute to Iron Man? Or maybe an implication that Iron Man will return? So, for those of you who stayed until the very end of the movie, you would have heard a metal clunking sound. I know some of you may have missed it because you may have been talking over it, but the answer is basically it was our way to say goodbye to him. So, what they're saying is yes, it was Iron Man's the sound of Iron Man making his first armor, and they just wanted to play it as a form of tribute to him. So Iron Man gets all the tribute, and Black Widow got nothing. Just really sad. All right. Next question. Why there was no Iron Man's body in his funeral, only his arc reactor? And is there any secret messages for bringing back the kid from Iron Man 3? The answer was we just feel that he should participate in Iron Man's funeral. As for whether he will appear again in the future, who knows? They did not answer why Iron Man's body was missing in the funeral, and only his arc reactor, like the first arc reactor, was there. So yeah, no real answer for that. Whatever. Next question. We just feel that he should participate in Iron Man's funeral. As for whether he will appear again in the future, who knows? Oh, sorry, I pasted the answer. Nice. I'm losing my mind reading through these answers, honestly. Okay, next question. Why didn't Black Widow get a funeral as well? Yep, yeah, okay. That's the question. Now they gave a good answer. Let's see, what did they give? The answer was, did you forget when the heroes were mourning for her after when they returned from the past? Maybe her funeral happened off screen. Are you serious? Maybe it will be shown in the future installment. What? Because there are still tons of stories in the MCU that are waiting to be told. So what, you are postponing Black Widow's funeral for another film? Seriously? That's your convenient answer? Seriously, guys? Where are these guys? Can I like just show this again to emphasize what's happening? Oh my god. This movie was a mess. They're trying to justify stuff and the justification is a mess. Like like seriously. Uh-huh. 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 It's just this is bad, man. This is miserable. And thanks to John Avedon for this article and whoever compiled this wonderful meme. I found it across the internet. It has been shared so many times. I have no idea whose it is, so I can't credit you. I'm so sorry for that. As for the Reddit post who compiled these questions and answers, I will leave the post in the comments. You guys can check it out and see the appropriate people who actually worked hard to collect that information, because I'm merely just reviewing it for you guys. There are people who actually worked hard to like gather these information, people who attended the conference probably. So yeah, so it would be cool if you guys go and check out their post and see if they got better ideas, because I mean, if people are actually working hard to gather this information, they are not taking it lightly. They are serious about these things. So yep, thanks to all those who actually come up with these stuff, because your work is way more awesome. This is awesome. Like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And of course, Bucky is alive and the save Martha thing. I already pulled a fast one on that, and yeah, it's just funny, man. Like when the MCU does it, it's fine, but when Snyder or someone else does it, it's funny or it's lame or it's bad. I mean, that's something like when Samsung does it, it's like, oh, whatever. But when Apple does it, everyone's like, ooh, yeah, iPhone. So so yeah, I'm just gonna keep pushing that axe down as time goes on, and if I can, I'll just slide it a little bit up towards the head. Um, but oh well, whatever, guys. I'm just glad that you guys are here with me through all this nonsense, um, and we can bear like the horror Endgame was. So yep. Once again, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for liking and commenting and following me if you guys have been following this. It's been a few good reviews, and I'm glad that you guys are with me. I would not be doing any of this if it weren't for your support. So remember that. Thanks for watching. Stay strong. Let's just hope that this thing never happens again. The only path forward is to keep believing and keep fighting. So let's be a good Avenger and let's avenge justice, for the trash that Endgame was. So the memes are the real Avengers of our time. So let's keep them coming. All right, guys, that's it from me. Adios.